Good day everyone, I am Josa Gordo and my partner is Janine Paula A. Sabado. And today we will be discussing the Chapter 5 Responsibilities, Rights, and Privileges of Cooperative, Article 58 to Article 61. So first, I will discuss the Article 58 Instrument for Salary or Wage Deduction. First, a member of a cooperative may, notwithstanding the provisions of existing laws to the contrary, execute an instrument in favor of the cooperative authorizing his employer to deduct from his or her salary or wages, computation of leave credits, and any other monetary benefits payable to him by the employer and remit such amount as may be specified in satisfaction of debt or other demand due from the member of the cooperative. Second, upon the execution of such instrumental and as may be required by the cooperative contained in a written request, the employer shall make the deduction in accordance with the agreement and deduction in accordance with the agreement and remit forthwith with the amount so deducted within 10 days after the end of the payroll month to the cooperative. The employer shall make the deduction for as long as such debt or other demands remains unpaid by the employee. So, ang employer ay dapat gumawa ng deduction sa sweldo ng empleyado hanggat ang naturang utang o iba pang demand ay nanatiling hindi pa binabayaran ng empleyado. Third paragraph, the term employer as used in this article shall include all private firms and the national and local governments and government-owned or controlled corporations who have under their employer a member of a cooperative and have agreed to carry out the terms of this instrument mentioned in paragraph 1 and 2 of this article. So, as stated in paragraph 1 and 2, ang term na employer as used in this article ay dapat included sa lahat ng private firms o local man and government-owned corporations that they both agreed to carry out all the terms and instrument. Fourth paragraph, the provisions of this article shall apply to all similar agreements referred to in paragraph 1 and were enforced prior to the approval of this code. So, before na ma-approve ang code na ito, lahat ng provision ng article na ito ay dapat ilapat as stated in paragraph 1. Last paragraph, notwithstanding the provision of existing laws to the contrary, the responsibilities of the employer as stated in paragraph 1 and 2 of this article shall be mandatory, provided that in the case of private employer, the actual and reasonable cost deducting and remitting may be collected. So, sa kabila ng mga provision ng mga umiiral na batas, ang mga responsibilidad ng employer tulad ng nakasaad sa mga paragraph 1 and 2 ng article na ito ay dapat na mandatory. Next is the Article 59 Primarily. Notwithstanding the provision of any law with the contrary, a cooperative shall have primarily upon the capital, deposits or interest of a member of any debt due to the cooperative for such a member. So, ang isang kooperatiba ay dapat magkaroon ng pangunahing liyan sa kapital, mga deposito o interest ng isang miyembro para sa anumang utang na dapat bayaran sa kooperatiba mula sa naturang miyembro. That's all.
Good morning everyone, I am Janine Paula Sabado and I will be discussing Article 60 and 61. Article 60, Tax Treatment of Cooperative. Duly registered cooperatives under this code which do not transact any business with non-members or the general public shall not be subject to any taxes and fees imposed under the Internal Revenue Laws and other tax laws. Cooperatives not falling under this article shall be governed by the succeeding section. So it means na ang mga kooperatiba sa ilalim ng code na ito na hindi nagsasagawa ng anumang negosyo sa mga hindi miyembro o pangkalahatang publiko ay hindi dapat sumailalim sa anumang buwis at bayarin na ipinataw sa ilalim ng mga batas sa pangloob na kita at iba pang mga batas. Article 61. Tax and other exemptions. Cooperatives transacting business with both members and non-members shall not be subjected to tax on their transactions with members. In relation to this, the transactions of members with the cooperative shall not be subject to any taxes and fees, including not limited to final taxes and on members' deposit and documentary tax. So, sinasabi naman dito na ang kooperatiba na nakikipag-transaction ng negosyo sa parehong miyembro at hindi miyembro ay hindi dapat papatawan ng buwis sa kanilang mga transaksyon sa miyembro. Ang mga transaksyon ng mga miyembro sa kooperatiba ay hindi dapat sumailalim sa anumang mga buwis at bayad, kabilang ang hindi limitado sa mga final taxes, sa mga deposito ng mga miyembro at documentary tax. Notwithstanding the provisions of any law or regulation to the contrary, such cooperatives dealing with non-members shall enjoy the following tax exemptions. First is cooperatives with accumulated reserve and undivided net savings of not more than 10 million pesos shall be exempt from all national, city, provincial, municipal, or barangay taxes of whatever name and nature. Such cooperatives shall be exempt from custom duties, advance sales, or compensating taxes on their importation of machineries, equipment, and spare parts used by them and which are not available locally as certified by the Department of Trade and Industry or DTI. So all tax-free importations shall not be sold, nor the beneficial or ownership therefore be transferred to any person until after 5 years. Kung hindi, ang kooperatiba at ang transferee or assignee ay dapat na mag-isang mananagot na magbayad ng 2 beses sa halaga ng ipinataw na buwis at o ng mga tungkulin. Second is cooperatives with accumulated reserves and undivided net savings of more than 10 million pesos shall feed the following taxes at the full rate. So, yun nga. Ito. Under ng number 2 is income tax. And the amount allocated for interest on capitals provided that the same tax is not consequently imposed on interest individually received by members. Provided further that cooperatives regardless of classifications are exempt income tax from the date of registration with the authority. Next is value-added tax. On transactions with non-members, provided however that cooperatives duly registered with the authority are exempt from the payment of value-added tax subject to Section 109, subsection L, M, N of Republic Act 9337, the National Internal Revenue Code as amended. So provided that all exempt transactions under Section 109L shall include sales made by co-op duly registered with the authority organized and operated by its member to undertake the production and processing of raw materials or of goods produced by its member into finished or processed products for sale by the co-op to its members and non-members. Ang anumang naprosesong produkto na galing sa raw materials na ginawa ng miyembro na ibinenta sa pangalan at para sa account ng cooperative, hindi bababa sa 25% ng kita ng mga co-op ay ibinabalik sa mga miyembro in the form of interest or funds. So, letter C is all other taxes unless otherwise provided herein. So, yun nga. And last is donations to charitable research and educational institutions and reinvestments to socio-economic products within the area of operation of the cooperative may be tax deductible. So, number 3 is all cooperatives regardless of the amount of accumulated reserves and undivided net savings shall be exempt from payment of local taxes and taxes on transactions with banks and insurance companies, provided that all sales of services rendered for non-members shall be subject to the applicable percentage taxes sales made by producers, marketing, or service cooperatives. So, wala sa article na ito ang makakahadlang sa pagsusuri sa mga books of accounts o ibang accounts o ibang accounting records ng cooperative by duly authorized internal revenue officers for internal revenue tax purposes only pagkatapos ng naunang authorization ng authority. So number 4 is, in areas where there are no available notaries public, the judge, exercising his ex officio capacity as notary public, shall render service, free of charge, to any person or group of persons requiring the administration of oath or acknowledgement of articles of cooperation and instruments of loan from cooperatives not exceeding 500,000 pesos. So, yun nga, dapat hindi mag-i-exceed ng 500,000 pesos. So, 5 is, any register of deeds shall accept for registration, free of charge, any instrument relatives to a loan made under this code which does not exceed 250,000 pesos. So, or ang deeds of title ng anumang ari-arian na nakuha ng cooperative o anumang papel o document na may connection with any action brought by the cooperative or with any court judgment rendered in its favor or any instrument relative to a bond or any accountable officer of a cooperative for the faithful performance of his duties and obligations. 6 is, cooperatives shall be exempt from the payment of all court and sheriff's fee payable to the Philippine government for and connection with all actions brought under this code. So, or where such actions are brought by the authority before the court to enforce the payment of obligation contracted in favor of cooperative. 7 is, all cooperatives shall be exempt from putting up a bond for bringing an appeal against the decision of an inferior court or for seeking to set aside any third-party claim. So, provided that a certification of an authority showing that the net assets of the cooperative are in excess of the amount of the bond required by the court is similar case shall be accepted by the court as a sufficient bond. Last is 8. Any security issued by cooperatives shall be exempt from the provisions of the Securities Act provided such security shall not be speculative. So, thank you and God bless.